What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Banks on behalf of the Not for Debate podcast, back with another video. Um, this video actually kind of makes me a little bit emotional sitting here talking about this at the moment. But before we get into all that, we just want to make sure that everybody remembers to hit the like button also, and also comment, like, subscribe, and follow us on the Not for Debate podcast on YouTube. We're trying to reach over 300 subscribers, so we're close to that mark. We're at 260 subscribers on YouTube. If you guys can just help us out, if you come across this video and you enjoy the content, man, don't hesitate to hit that like button. We will greatly appreciate it as we continue to grow and try to get this channel to where we hope to get it at. But as we mentioned, as you can see, the topic point of today's video is just reacting to the top 100 countdown as we got down to the final top 20 players in the league. I'm not here to recap those top 19 or 18 players. This video is specifically designed to talk about the final two, three-ish players in the league. As we all found out last night, with a lot of controversy, of course, we found out that Aaron Rodgers was voted number three. Uh, some people are okay with that. Some people aren't. We got Aaron Donald, which is the most shocking part to me out of everything. Aaron Donald was voted number two for the second consecutive year, um, which I don't know what else Aaron Donald needs to do to be number one, um, but he lost to Tom Brady, who was voted number one by his peers. So we're going to talk about that just for a moment, just to kind of see again what the reaction was, because I'm still actually kind of shocked by the decision of the fellow NFL players in the league. They all voted that Tom Brady is the best player in NFL. Again, before we get into it, just again, I want to remind everybody to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, Not for Debate Podcast on YouTube, as well as follow us on all media platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, et cetera, et cetera. Um, so to the topic point, the NFL Top 100, specifically the top player in the NFL. Question: is Tom Brady the best player in the National Football League, based on the 2021 season? Um, Listen, I'm a huge Tom Brady fan. Of course, if any of you guys that follow the channel, keep up with us, you guys know that I've been on Tom Brady's bandwagon for years. Even before the channel, this podcast was developed, I was a huge Tom Brady supporter. I've always felt like Tom Brady was the best quarterback in the NFL. I've always felt like he was probably the best football player in the NFL, considering a bunch of the limitations that he had entering the NFL, and how he came in as a sixth round draft pick, and all these other high profile quarterbacks coming out of college. The guys like Peyton Manning's and the Ryan Leafs, which we're not going to talk about Ryan Leaf because we all know what happened with Ryan Leaf. But you got the Phillip Rivers, the Aaron Rodgers. I mean, you name it. Drew Brees, things like that. All these top quarterbacks who were, kind of predicted to have the careers that they ultimately end up having. No one saw Tom Brady, this scrawny little kid from Michigan, coming in and having the career that he had. As we all know, Tom Brady is a seven-time um, Super Bowl champion. I don't ever think that's ever going to be broken. I mean, seven, to win a Super Bowl alone, it's just in general in the league, is just one of the hardest things to do out there. It's like it's very difficult to do it. For this guy to have seven Super Bowls is just unheard of. And We got to tip your hat off to him, man. I mean, it was earned. Tom Brady goes out there year in, year out with the odds stacked against him, and he continues to show everybody why he is who he is. You understand what I'm saying? And you got to respect that. You got to respect his talent and just his the cerebralness to him, like his just being able to, win a game before he even gets a snap. He kind of already is in his mind that the game is already over, and he knows how to just to dissect a defense, and we hear about all these different stories from coordinators from let's say for instance Rex Ryan is a guy that spoke very highly about Tom Brady, even though he's had his issues with Tom Brady. We got other defensive Hall of Famers such as Ray Lewis, which I mean, if Ray Lewis is talking heavily about him, I don't care what any opinion about any other athlete in the NFL or any fan of the league or anything like that. If Ray Lewis is calling you the best quarterback that he has ever seen play football, just the best football player. Ray Lewis even say he's the best football player, which is a huge, huge level of props that Ray Lewis gave Tom Brady to say that, because Ray Lewis is the ultimate competitor, right? Like he's somebody that has competed from high school all the way up to his Hall of Fame career in the NFL. He's someone when he speaks with tone, and you got no other choice when he speaks. You just stop whatever you're doing and you just listen to him speak, because he just guy knows football, and he was bred to to play football. So when Ray Lewis gets into that whole breaking down the game, and he goes to talking about Tom Brady and things like that. Man, it's just a marvel when you get to kind of listen to him talk about that. Other guys such as Ed Reed, another all-time great, one of the best safeties in the NFL history, has also said a lot of great things about Tom Brady. About again, just about his IQ, just being able to, coming out of the huddle, he just being able to analyze the defense. Okay, I know that these guys are in cover two. I know that since he's in cover two, I can either hit him over the top. I can get some things underneath, possibly. I mean, it's just crazy how talented Tom Brady has been in this league, considering the intangibles that were up against him coming into the NFL. So I say that to say this. Do I think Tom Brady is the best player in the NFL? With all those great things, I'm going to say no based on 2021's season. I'm going to say that Tom Brady was not the best football player in the league, but I do understand why he was voted number one. When you think about again just the fact that he's 45 years old out there, and he threw for a career high in terms of passing yards as well as passing attempts and things like that. Everyone was counting him out 5 or 6 years ago. Everyone was saying when he was done, he was washed. He can't throw the ball much as hard as he used to throw it. Things like that. They were just knocking once again, continually to knock his physical attributes, saying he can't do this because he's just look at him. He can't continue to do this, right? And then he comes over to Tampa Bay after playing in New England for majority of his career, and then coming over to Tampa, helping that team the very first year of him being there, leading them all to a Super Bowl. And again, I want people to just kind of go back to that Super Bowl season that they had and what they had to accomplish in order to get that Super Bowl. They actually had to go on the road in every single game to pull off victories. And one of the biggest victories that was very surprising to me was the game against the current NFL MVP Aaron Rodgers. They had to go into Lambeau in damn near freezing temperatures to beat out Aaron Rodgers, who was the NFL MVP and had the best record that season. And I mean, the defense of Green Bay that year, compared to other years, the defense was finally up to par. They were able to help out Aaron Rodgers in that game, which they were able to draw three turnovers from Tom Brady. They were able to intercept him three times. It was just a miracle as to find out how they found a way to get out of that game, to steal one in Green Bay and Lambeau, and then go to the Super Bowl. So you got to tip your hat off to Tom Brady for that. But that was 2 seasons ago. We're talking about now in 2021. I don't think that based off last year that he should have been voted the number one player in the NFL. But again, as a loyal Rams fan, as a fan of the NFL, I do understand that the fact that Tom Brady was voted number one, to me, my personal opinion, had a lot to do with just the respect factor. That his peers that are around him respect him so much. And one second here, his peers around him respect him so much. They respect his level of understanding of the game. They respect the fact that he's a very down to earth guy. He doesn't come off as an overly cocky individual, i.e., example being Aaron Rodgers in this scenario. He doesn't come off as that type of person. He's not the type of guy that goes on camera and publicly throws his teammates under the bus, things like that. He seems to be very well respected and accepted in across the league, and just seeing just various players during the top 100 segment when they announced that Tom Brady was going to be the number one player in the NFL, and just seeing how all these different players all just had all these great things to say about Tom Brady. It really show it really that's alone should tell you just about him and just his abilities. So again, I understand it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I don't get it. I'm not going to be like everyone else that just hates Tom Brady, just doesn't want to see him succeed, or just tired of Tom Brady. And that's one of the things that I have a problem with people with personally is the fact that no one likes winners, and the greatest winner of them all is probably Tom Brady. And he's just won over and over and over and over again, and people are just like, God, can this guy just freaking go away? Like, when is he not going to win? And then when he doesn't win, people try to take those losses and try to magnify them. Oh my God, he lost. That's who he is. He's a loser. And then he comes back the very next year and wins the Super Bowl and reminds you, this is who I am. I am a Super Bowl perennial, every year Super Bowl contending quarterback. That's what you're going to get with Tom Brady every single year. If he's playing in the National Football League, you're going to get a person, a quarterback that understand that there's only one job for me. Okay, there's only one purpose, and that's to go and compete for a Super Bowl. That's my objective. I'm not here for anything else. I'm not here to be well, I mean, of course, be your friend, but I'm not here for all the other accolades that come along with it. Tom Brady continues to play football because his love of the game and the fact that he wants to continue to add to his legacy as the most important, if not the greatest player or quarterback ever. Now, to talk a little bit about the snub, because I do feel that Aaron Donald was snubbed, and I'm not just saying this because I'm a Los Angeles Rams fan. Okay, I'm not just saying that as because of that. But if I'm being honest here, Aaron Donald was just amazing. Okay, Aaron Donald was just amazing. This is his what was it? His eighth consecutive time being voted in the was it top five or something like that. According to what the top 100 said, this is eighth consecutive year being voted in the top five, and no other defensive player has ever done that. I mean, Aaron Donald, you're talking about possibly the greatest defensive player to have ever played the game of football. Honestly, the greatest defensive player that I have ever seen play football. I would recall watching some of Lawrence Taylor growing up as a kid, but I'm a little young on that side, so I don't remember watching a lot of Lawrence Taylor's dominance. But I do have friends and family that constantly remind me, yeah, who LT was. And again, it's no knock to LT, but based on what I've seen from my own eyes, there's two players on the defensive side of the ball. Well, a couple more players, but I would got to give it to Aaron Donald, Sean Taylor, Ray Lewis, Deion Sanders, Ed Reed as my best defenders I've ever seen. With Aaron Donald by far being the best out of all of them as the best defensive player to have ever played the game of football with my eyes. This guy is just amazing, and when you consider just this season that he was able to have this past year, He still ended up having over 13 and a half sacks, and with all the amount of pressure that he was able, to generate out of triple teams, double teams. I mean, because he's going to get double team and triple team every down. So that's just a mandatory thing. It's already established that Aaron Donald is going to get double team and triple team every time. But then to see him still be able to affect the game in the way that he's able to affect the game, even with all those double teams and triple teams, he's able to generate constant, consistent pressure every single down. And then whether he's getting to the quarterback or not, you gotta just like, oh my God, you just gotta awe at the fact that, man, this guy is he's a dog. He's a true dog. He's a warrior on that gridiron. Um, so to see him to be voted number two for the second consecutive year, I thought that considering the fact that he was able to achieve the greatest accolade of all, which is by becoming a Super Bowl champion this season. Well, that's this season, but last season, and not only being at the best of what he does, but also bringing home a championship. I thought for sure this would solidify him as the number one player in the league. When this whole list started, I had already written Aaron Donald's name in as number one. I had my top 100 very similar to how it ended. I think I had Tom Brady at number three, and I think I had, I want to say, I think I had Aaron Rodgers number two. So it was kind of like reversed. What my voting was reversed. I actually had Aaron Rodgers as number two. Reason for that is because he was able to have again the best record in the league for the second consecutive year. He was able to win his second, his consecutive MVP, which has only been done by a select few other quarterbacks in NFL history. Only a few select players have been able to achieve that. So uh, that was my top three-ish list. I think I had Aaron Donald, Aaron Rodgers, and Tom Brady. But I'm not super upset about it. I mean, I understand. I mean, losing to Tom Brady is not a bad thing. I mean, many people have lost to Tom Brady. But I can tell you this, though, as a Rams fan and as someone that's watched Aaron Donald from the moment he got drafted up until now, I can tell you this: the NFL better be ready. Teams better be ready. You better believe that Aaron Donald is going to carry a chip on his shoulder for the entire season. I don't think he would have played this season with a chip because he's already achieved every imaginable accolade that you can think of in the NFL in terms of the defensive side of the ball. He's achieved it all, and he already won a Super Bowl. So I think he was just, it's right now is all about securing that last paycheck to get him paid so he can, ride off into the sunset. But then y'all voted him number two. And now you got to deal with that monster, that gorilla on the defensive line coming at you every down with the mind of these people still don't recognize my talent. I was voted number two by my peers for the second consecutive year. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think y'all might have opened up a can of worms, man. You might have made it kind of difficult for yourselves. So, to all the other 31 NFL teams out there, if you come across this video, you better be on the lookout because Aaron Donald has it on his mind right now. He has it on his mind and his heart. He's going to carry that with him every single snap, every single play, every single game. He's going to have on his mind, I'm number two when I should be number one. So that was just pretty much the end of the video. Again, I wasn't going to keep this that long. That's just my reaction to the top 100. Again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the Not for Debate podcast. Turn that notification bell on so you don't miss any of our content in the future. Also, want to let you guys know we are bringing our division winner videos very soon. It should be out this week of the teams that we think are going to win a division. So be on the lookout for that. And also our other videos in the past and prior episodes and uploads. Make sure you guys go take a visit of those and take a look at it. It's your boy Banks on behalf of the Not for Debate podcast.